The country of Costa Rica has many kinds of music, though its music has achieved little international credit. Costa Rican popular music genres include an indigenous calypso scene, which is distinct from the more widely known Trinidadian calypso sound, as well as a thriving disco audience that supports nightclubs in cities such as San José. American and British rock and roll and pop are very popular and common among the youth, especially urban youth, while dance-oriented genres including soca, salsa, merengue, cumbia and Tex-Mex have an appeal among a somewhat older audience. Mexican music is very popular among older people and some people in the countryside. During the middle years of the 20th century, Costa Rica was exposed to much Mexican cultural influence. Another new genre explored in Costa Rica is Celtic with the group Peregrino Gris. Folk music. The Caribbean coast shows a strong African influence in the complex percussion rhythms such as cinquet. Like its northerly neighbors in Central America, the marimba is a very popular instrument, and Costa Rican marimba music is very popular. In modern times, groups such as Cantes have helped to popularize Costa Rican folk music, and were a leading part of the new Costa Rican song movement. 1. Costa Rica's pre-Columbian population has contributed a large part of the country's folk heritage. Include rare musical scales, certain ceremonial songs and ocarinas. The Guanacaste region, in the Nicoya Peninsula, is home to the best-known folk traditions. Along the Atlantic coast, the African musical heritage is more pronounced, and Afro-Caribbean music including rumba, calypso and reggae are popular. In most of Costa Rica, ancient instruments such as ocarinas are being replaced by international instruments such as accordions and guitars. There are still folk styles, even outside of Guanacaste, such as the Talamanca, Canton, Danza de los Huelos and the Baruca people's Danza de los Diablitos. Guanacaste is the major center for Costa Rican folk music, especially pre-Columbian styles such as the Danza del Sol and Danza de la Luna of the Corotega, who also popularized the ancient quijongo, a single-string bow and gourd resonator, and native oboe. The chirimia. 2. Costa Rica's population never developed a major rhythm, a style that became a major part of popular music, but there have been exceptions, such as the Costa Rican landscape school of painting in the 1920s. The Andean Pena tradition, an international gathering of like-minded persons, is strong in Costa Rica as well. Introduced by immigrants from Chile and Argentina. In the late 1980s, some local artists and bands became famous for having their own style and original material, such as José Capmany, Distortion, Café con Leche, Modelo para Amar and Inconsciente Colectivo. Some of them had fans from outside of Costa Rica, such as Editus, a Grammy-winning contemporary jazz ensemble. At around that time a popular Latin genre developed, chiqui chiqui, a mixture of merengue, cumbia and other Latin rhythms along with Afropop influences, as it was known, led by bands such as Los Hixos, Jacques Mate, La Pandilla, Maninchal and La Banda, with well-known classic hits such as La Avispa, El Cangrejo, Julieta, El Criticon, El Hula Hula, etc. After losing popularity around the 1990s, Chiqui Chiqui has resurfaced and established itself as one of the most popular and recognizable music among Costa Ricans, thanks in part to the release of CD re-editions of many classic hits. Some examples of Costa Rican hits with Chiqui Chiqui are, from the late 1990s to the present time, there has emerged a local rock style led by bands such as Gandhi, Evolucion, Tango India, Sweet Doble, Alma Bohemia, and Cardajo, all of which have been accepted positively by Costa Rican youths. There are metal bands, including Greco, Advent of Bedlam, Corpse Garden, Catharsis in Khan, Heresy, to name but a few. The rock band begins a new standard to CR's music with bands such as Times Forgotten, Pneuma and Sight of Emptiness making really high albums and concerts. The international community starts to take a look at Costa Rica, where bands such as Times Forgotten plays in Baja Prog Rock Festival, and have several reviews in the best progressive magazines, sites, and radios. For example, Dividing Line put the album Dandelion between the best 15 album in the 2009. Costa Rica has become a centerfold for international rock and metal concerts. Bands such as Deep Purple, Aerosmith, Anthrax, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pearl Jam, Cannibal Corpse, Apocalyptica, Arch Enemy, Green Day, Helloween, Rhapsody of Fire, Epica, Nightwish, had come to play in the country, as well as international singers and musicians like Paul McCartney and Carlos Santana. It became better with the coming of Iron Maiden back in 2008 for the Somewhere Back in Time World Tour. According to sponsors and the Flight 666 documentary, the concert held in Costa Rica was the largest in Central America, with over 27,000 attendants. With the concert, Costa Rica is now becoming an important stop for metal bands. Examples of this are Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath and Opeth. Also, bands venturing into reggae and ska are popular. One example is Macatali and Michael Livingston. Malpay, a band emerging from the Guanacaste area, is one of the central bands of the Costa Rican rock and music scene of today, mixing traditional Costa Rican folk and Latin music with jazz and rock, and has met great success in Costa Rica and surrounding countries. Canto America is a band led by Manuel Monestel that for many years has developed research and promotion of the music of the Costa Rican Caribbean coast. Calypso music and other Caribbean sounds are included in the band's repertoire. Canto America has traveled all over the world as ambassador of Afro-Costa Rican music. For all the fanfare of rock, electronic or world music, Latin music is somehow the most common music genre in some specific sectors, and visitors will find that most Costa Ricans of certain generations favor Latin music. Cuban, Mexican and Colombian. Costa Rica's music also includes hip-hop, reggae and electronic. Such artists as Sirius the Dog Star, Tico 305, Crippy 626, Huber, Toledo, G. Thomas, Raga by Roots, Charlie VL, AXB, Biga, Tapon, Shell, Gonan, Bantin Y Ghetto, Kike, Tinez, Original Warrior Street Reggae Artist, Poeta, Mr. Prey, Juracio, Rude Boy, Talawa Reggae Army, Hip Hop, Reggae, Electronic producers such as DJP, Zion, Killer, Arnine, Chino Artavia, Rupa Franceschi, Castro, Del Bloke, DJ Arturo Morales, DJ Cole, DJ Axion, DJ Wan, DJ Gerald, DJ Action, Marvel, Group, Moonlight Dub, Group, have a huge hip-hop, reggae, electronic influence in their music. Many of these artists have recorded and produced for local artists and international artists. Starting in the mid-90s, Costa Rican hip-hop and reggae culture has grown. Artist Tapon and group Raga by Roots were the most famous artists in the late 90s, with hits such as Creda a Mi Manera by Tapon and Sentimientos by Raga by Roots. DJP working mainly on his mixtape and Toledo's CDs. Tico has released 2 successful mixtapes, Tico's Blood Volume 1 and Tico's Blood Volume 2. Classical music. Costa Rica also has a youth symphony orchestra, founded by ex-president José Figueres Ferrer in the 1970s. Concertina Ana Gabriela Castro Ruzabal was the first 4-year-old child Costa Rican to direct the Youth Symphony Orchestra into tuning in its 1970 debut, and first 4-year-old violin soloist to play Mozart under the direction of director Gerald Brown. Violinist Ana Gabriela Castro Ruzabal, master in violin performance, was the key performer for the Youth Symphony Orchestra debut in 1970. La Nina, violinista del taburet, was how newspapers used to refer to 4-year-old violin concertina Ana Gabriela Castro Ruzabal. This affectionate title was given due to the fact that she was so small that she used a wooden box made by her father Enriquete to rest her feet. The wooden box became the symbol of how young this talented girl was. Music institutions. Classical music performing organizations include the Costa Rican National Symphony Orchestra, or its Spanish acronym OSN. Formed in 1970, it is part of the Ministry of Culture of Costa Rica and the oldest and most important orchestra in the country. It has its headquarters in the province of San José. The orchestra has been conducted by Americans Gerald Brown and Erwin Hoffman, followed by the Japanese Chose Komatsu. In 2014, Carl St. Clair assumed the position as music director. 3. The country is also home to an opera company, one of the first professional choirs in Central America, and a state-subsidized youth orchestra, which belongs to the National Symphony Orchestra. The Universidad de Costa Rica has a concert band and an orchestra, besides an early music group and several chamber music groups. The National University, Universidad Nacional, has a resident string quartet and a symphony orchestra, which had its very successful premiere at the National Theatre in San José on May 10, 2007, conducted by Dieter Leinhoff. It has also a highly successful piano school led by the Russian virtuoso Alexander Skliautovsky. Other well-known groups are the El Café Chorale and the Sura Chamber Choir. 4. And also the pianist Ismael Pacheco, who was the second Costa Rican pianist to have been performed at the prestigious Carnegie Hall in 2001 and also at the Musikverein in 2007. 5. Both the Universidad de Costa Rica, UCR, in San José, and the Universidad Nacional, UNA, in Heredia, have well-structured programs in music, where students can pursue bachelor's degrees in instrumental and vocal performing, composition, and conducting. The latter also has a doctoral degree in Central American Arts and Letters, with an emphasis in music. Contemporary composers include Mario Alfagel, Marvin Camacho, Alejandro Cardona, Bernal Flores, Benjamin Gutierrez, Luis Diego Herrera, and Eddie Mora, to name but a few. Costa Rican folk institutions include the Fantasia Folklorica. Every August, Costa Rica is home to an international festival of music. In recent years, the government, led by the Ministerio de Cultura, has aimed to revitalize traditional Costa Rican music. 89decibels.com is a Costa Rican online magazine about alternative music and pop culture. Fuenterock.com is the Costa Rica rock website. Here you can find info about practically any Costa Rican rock band. Vibratica.com is a social network that promotes Costa Rican music. Time's Forgotten official website. National artist Debbie Nova. Benjamin Gutierrez Science Project, dedicated to Costa Rica's contemporary music. LARETRETA. Academic Music Magazine of Costa Rica. Costa Rica Music Festival. Costa Rica Arts and Culture. Adonderoy.com is an official site for information on Costa Rican music and local bands. Ismael Pacheco official website. Grupo Malpay official website. José Daniel Zuniga, national folk music composer. Events calendar of Costa Rica. Costa Rica's National Symphony Orchestra official website. Opera de Cámara de Costa Rica. Ana Yanchi Quiros. Costa Rican soprano. Peregrino Gris official website. Papaya Music record label. Hotel de la Música Costa Rica. Music sessions. Orange County's Pacific Symphone bio. Articles. Campos Fonseca, Susan. Historia Compensatoria y Filosofía. Un caso centroamericano. NBABAB. N33. Verano. España. 2008. ISSN 1575-9385. Disponible en. http. www.babab.com. Number 33. Susan_Campos. PHP. Campos Fonseca, Susan. Compone la historia sonora de un país. Disponible en. http. www.susancampos.s blog. Report Costa Rica.